Thank you, San Jose! I've been waiting for this moment! Now is the Penta New Era! And you know why? Porque yo soy Penta, el Cero!
What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope having a blessed Tuesday if you're watching this. Before I clock in for the shift for Monday Night Raw, just got to do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. Alright, so at 334 on YouTube, almost at 90 on Rumble. So I thank each and every one of you has followed or subbed to my channels. Thank you. Right? To keep on going because the gains don't stop. Right? So without further ado, let's get into this episode. Right? First, we start off with old CM Punk, Phil Brooks. It's a good pop. California loves him for some odd reason. I don't know. Goes to the announce table, tries to jump from the announce table to the barricade, but it's not athletic enough to catch his balance, so he says, fuck it, I'll take the steps. Proceeds to cut a pandering ass promo, thanking all his fans around the world, Mexico, Canada, California, Chicago. Same shit CM Punk always says. Announces that he's going to be entering the Royal Rumble. He wants to win the Royal Rumble because it's one of his dreams. Right, then he gets interrupted, but Mr. Seth Cuckold Rollins. Why is he cuckold? Because he cucked himself for Cody Rhodes last year, and I'll never forgive him for that. Right? Fuck that shit. Then he comes up, he says, like, why are you people surprised I work here? Right, I don't get going when the going gets tough, because that's what you do, Phil. Right, and he's announcing that he'll be in the Royal Rumble as well. And then he gets interrupted by Drew Mac, aka Drew McIntyre. He announces that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble as well. And that's all that happened here. Alright, 15 minutes of boredom. Right, like this shit sucked. I will break it down what the fuck these people said because they didn't say anything. So we're going to move on to the first match of the night. And we see American Made. He comes out, they're giving Chad Gable the Kurt Angle treatment, saying, you suck. You suck. You suck. You see Chad Gable, he grabs a mic, he says, no, I do not suck. And that 2025 will be the best version of Chad Gable ever. I watched Otis, check. I'm gonna watch this mask, random ass luchador, check. And this year, mark my words, I will win a singles title in 2025. Basically what he said here. And then see the lights go out, crowd pops. Then we hear some generic ass NPC theme music for Cero Miedo. This is Pentagon Jr. making his debut here on Monday Night Raw, which is crazy to see because Penta always been a fan of this dude back from Lucha Underground. So see him there to see him, on Raw, it's kind of crazy. It's surreal, but I'm happy for him. And I also, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about Ray Phoenix. I'm like, damn, this could have been his spot too, man. But he'll come at some point later on this year, live matches. So, and they have enough trust in Chad Gable to make Pentagon look good out there. So as far as the match, it was good. There was a botch early on with Penta. He was trying to go for like the springboard leg drop, but completely botched it. Looked shitty. He did his best to recover and keep it moving, He does a tope con hilo, and he gets a holy shit chant. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, have you people not seen fucking Finn Balor or Sami Zayn like do tope con hilos before? What the fuck does that merit? Holy shit chant. I guess San Jose never seen tope con hilos before. I don't know, man. Moving on, Penta hits the Canadian Destroyer to Chad Gable, who stole perfect sell from Chad Gable. And commentary calls it the Mexican Destroyer SA. Why? Because he's Mexican. That's why. Fast forward, Penta hits the inverted arm breaker, as now called the sacrifice, into the Penta driver for the 1, 2, 3. So Pentagon goes over and he's debuted. Right, it was a good showing. You know, his theme songs fucking sucks. Like that's the best you can do for Penta. That's what you can come up with. This man had better theme songs in the fucking indies, man. Like, tighten up, right? Do better, WWE. But he grabs a mic. He says that he's been waiting for his moment. You know, for all the people, you. Half of it was in Spanish. He says that this is the new era, the Netflix era. But this is the era of Penta. You know, Cierro Viedo, and all that shit, and then that's it. So, I will say he could cut a better promo than Andrade El Idolo, because one of the biggest things that will hold you back in this company is your inability to cut a promo, right? WWE, they're based primarily in the United States of America. The primary language for America is English, right? So you can't cut a promo in English, right, so that the people can understand and connect to what you're saying. You ain't gonna get pushed. It's just that simple. That's holding Andrade back. It's his fucking promos, right? Now, not that, you know, Penta is that much better than he is, but, you know, he's still, some of his English is a bit rough, but, you know, he's better by default than Andrade. Now, Santos is better than both Penta and Andrade, but we see what the fuck they're doing with Santos over there on SmackDown. Absolutely nothing. And hopefully, they don't have Penta do the old stereotype and join fucking, Legado del Fantasma, or fucking Latino Order, as they say, no. Right? Why? Because he's Mexican. So, by default, he has to join one of the fucking Mexican or Hispanic stables in the fucking company. Let Penta do his own thing. And as a matter of fact, I have a video that I want to see that involves Penta and one of the greatest luchadors of all time, a Rey Mysterio, right? I'm do that later on at some point, probably within like next like 2 weeks or some shit. There's a video that I want to do that revolves Rey Mysterio and Penta that I want to see, right? But all in all, he had a good showcase here on Raw. You know, best believe he's gonna sell a shitload of merch, all the masks and the gloves and all that shit. Man, WWE loves that shit. So I'm happy for it, Penta, and I wish him the best of luck, right? Like, because keep in mind, this is still Triple H who's booking this shit, right? And I have zero trust in Triple H for doing the right thing, right? Moving on, we go backstage with the Judgment Jobbers, who are still playing the same match in 2K24 for like the past like 8 weeks or some shit like that, right? Passive aggressive Finn Balor tells Liv, like, oh Liv, I'm sure you'll be the Raw Women's World Champion at some point again. Liv says some shit, I don't fucking know. Dom shows up with a bouquet of flowers. He was like, mi amor, hey, I'm sorry for last week. You know, I hope you can forgive me. Liv, you know, was like, I'm not even mad. Dom was like, what? And then Liv was like, yeah, I'm not mad. You know, go get my bags. I'm out of here. Throws a bouquet of flowers to Carlito. Tells Carlito, hey Carly, go put my flowers somewhere safe. Like the complete jobber that Carlito is. Dom is in complete disbelief that Liv isn't mad at him. Finn Balor says, Dom, you have a lot to learn. But on to more important things like tonight. I finally take care of Damian Priest in the main event tonight. JD with his Freemason pants agrees. Carlito, he goes and puts away the flowers like the good jabroni that he is. Passive aggressive, Finn Balor tells Dominic, hey, why don't you stay back tonight? No, you got this whole thing going on with Liv, so why don't you start by go getting your box? And that's it. That's it for this boring ass segment. And my only question to whomever is watching this is, were you entertained? Right? Because that's the only question that should matter when watching this bullshit. Are you entertained or not? Because I damn sure wasn't. Right? So we move on, get ready for the next match, which was Sheamus. He's doing his entrance. Then we go backstage with my favorite group here in the WWE. The stud line. Yeah, look at these studs right here. It showed footage of the stud line taking out Kairi Sane, which is complete bullshit because Kairi Sane is the one that I wanted to have win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. That will lead on to a feud with Io Sky come WrestleMania 41. I was going to do a whole video about it, but they fucked it up. And then I'm seeing people, they're like, oh, I want to see Rhea versus Io. For what? So that Io can lose? I mean, like, you honestly think Io is going to win and beat Rhea? Nah. Right, the smart move is to do Io versus Kairi Sane. Right, there's a story to be told between those two. And best believe they can put on a banger match if they let Kairi Sane loose. There's a lot of people out there that think Kairi Sane is trash. And it's hard to argue that because Triple H has on fuck all with Kairi Sane ever since she's been back. Right, so I might still do that video at some point. Like, booking Kairi Sane versus Io Sky. That's what I want to see. But back to the stud line, Sonya says that, like, oh, it's okay for everybody to disrespect us, but when we dish it back, people have a problem. That doesn't make any sense to me. Does that make any sense to you, Shayna? No, it doesn't. Exactly my point. And, Shayna and Zoe says some shit, but it doesn't matter. And it doesn't even matter what fucking Sonya said, because all three of them are certified jobbers. Nobody takes this group seriously, and why would you? Moving on, we see a tweet from Triple H. He says, there's a reason we say don't try this at home. Congrats on the win, Quinyon and the Eagles. Because some dude tried to do a pedigree, he botched it, and Triple H has to put himself over because he's Triple H. Right? So moving on, we see Daniel Cormier in the audience, big ups and down with his kiddos. Cool to see him. I know he's a big wrestling fan. And then we see the badass LeBron Breaker out there in ringside 2 weeks in a row. And I'm just thinking to myself, why? What is the point in this? Why is he not on commentary? Running down both his opponents that are trying to gun after his championship. Wouldn't that make the most sense? But again, you're watching the WWE, watching Monday Night Raw on the Apollo Effect era, and so a lot of things don't make sense these days. So moving on, we see Ludwig Kaiser coming out for his entrance, and then we get the match. We've seen this match before, so we're going to fast forward to the finish, which was Sheamus hitting the bro kick to Ludwig, because Ludwig is a jobber. 1, 2, 3, Sheamus goes over, he goes to yell Pat McAfee's face, he then confronts LeBron Breaker, right? Braun was like, oh, you think you could beat me? Get the fuck out of here. Shoves him, and the referee breaks him up, and that's it for this segment, so we move on. Next we see Seth cuckold Rollins backstage. He's talking about his match against Drew next week. He owes him for WrestleMania last year. And then we see Sami Zayn, and then these two argue about who has the better man bun. No, but in all seriousness, Seth says, like, oh, look, Sammy, like, you helped Roman at fucking War Games, you got Roman last week against Sikoa, so he's the tribal chief again. What else are you going to do, Sammy? You're going to help out Roman so he wins the Royal Rumble this year? You're going to help Roman so that he beats Cody to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion again? Instead of helping out Roman Reigns, why don't you help yourself out for once? And I'm like, thank you, Rollins. Hot damn. I mean, this man has been speaking facts for the past few weeks now. It just sucks that he's just so damn goofy. And then there's Sami Zayn, who looks like a bona fide bum. Alright, he needs to book an appointment to the local hair salon that he takes his wife to. That's all that pretty much happened in this fucking segment. So we move on. We see Jackie Redman talking with the Judgment Jobbers of JD McDonough and Carlito. Alright? JD says that, hey, what are you trying to do, Jackie? Alright? The Judgment Day is fine. And Liv and Dom, they're in a shark-infested area trying to maintain their love. And all you're doing is trying to stir the pot with all your drama. Shame on you, Jackie. Shame on you. Ito says, I can't even hear you, Jackie. And the crowd is booing the shit out of Carlito. He then says that Judgment Day is the most powerful faction here in the WWE. And that Finn Balor is going to take out Damian Priest once and for all. And that's cool. Two things. That's one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in my entire life. Judgment Jobbers suck. They're not cool. And Finn Balor is going to get washed like he always does against Damian Priest. Why? Because Finn Balor is a jobber. Right? That's what the fuck's going to happen. Spoiler alert. Right? Or if you haven't seen Raw and you're just like watching my reviews because you don't feel like watching Raw, there you go. Sorry, not sorry. But moving on, we see Karrion Kross and Miz backstage. Kross tells Miz that apparently the Y6 got moved to SmackDown. I thought the draft was over, but apparently people could just move brands whenever, just arbitrarily. Fuck it, right? Who needs a draft? You know what I mean? Miz claimed he had fuck all to do with it. The MC Sami Zayn, he was like, yo, is Adam Pearce in there? Kross is like, yeah, go ahead. Matter of fact, let me talk to you. Yeah. He was like, listen, I overheard your conversation with Rollins, and it's cute, your little aspirations, with all your friends to become the world champion for the first time in WWE. But it's not going to happen. And this is Sami Zayn we're talking about. I don't think you have to worry about him being the world champion. Sami Zayn then bucks up to the Miz. He's like, I don't think anyone has ever worried about you, Miz. And the Miz looks dead in his eye. He was like, I'm a 2-time world heavyweight champion. 2 more times than you will ever be. And I'm like, there you go. I'm like, who the fuck is Sami Zayn to talk shit about the Miz? The Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion. This is the same man that went over on John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania. Right? Has fucking Sami Zayn ever fucking main event at WrestleMania? Nah. Get the fuck out of here. And so big ups to the Miz for that. Sami Zayn, he was like, you know what? I was going to go talk to Adam on some personal business, but that could wait. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to demand a match against you tonight. And you see Kross, he's back there laughing because that's what he does. He's an instigator. And it's hilarious. Alright? It's all mind games with Kross. Alright? That's it for this segment. We move on. We see the ruler of NXT, Oba Femi ringside. And the crowd, I don't think really cared because they don't watch NXT. They don't give 2 fucks about what goes on in NXT. But that leads us to a promo from the reigning, defending, undisputed World Heavyweight Champion on Raw, who couldn't even be booked on the debut episode on Netflix last week. That is the Ring General, Gunther. He says basically, everybody's talking about who's ahead of the table or who's the best in the world. Who cares? The only thing people should be talking about is this World Heavyweight Championship. And it was like, yeah, that's cool, fun and dandy. But I was like, you couldn't say that last week when the actual so-called main eventers were on the show? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. Right, then he gets interrupted by main event Jey Uso. Pat McAfee, the entire crowd was eating. Jey says, hey, Uso, you say you need someone to care about the World Heavyweight Championship? Well, at Saturday night's main event, oops, I'm calling your ass out. Gunther then says, Jey, so-called main event Jey Uso, to you, the main event's just a nickname. To me, I am the main event. And that Saturday night's main event, I'm just going to expose you for what you always have been and always will be. A very talented tag team wrestler. He walks away. Jey says, oh, hold on, Oos. Yeah, you're right. Everything you said was correct. Like, oh, he ain't got a boost. Oh, he's just a tag team wrestler boost. Like, oh, he ain't supposed to sell this much merch boost. And yeah, I was scared because I had to fight each and every day to be my own man boost. Crowd cheered. And that Saturday night's main event, I'm gonna whoop your ass and I will become the world heavyweight champion. Now, if you want to tell this chunk that you want to see main event Jey Uso become the new world heavyweight champion, on a count of 3, say yeet. 1, 2, 3, yeet. Like crowd, was loud as yeet, and yeah, I want to see Jey Uso or main event Jey Uso yeet be the world heavyweight champion compared to Gunther any day of the fucking week, twice on Sunday. Why? Because Gunther as a champion sucks, right? He looks like a champion, but he doesn't feel like a champion, and that's the problem, right? Again, that him not being booked on the debut on Raw when they're trying to hype the fuck out of that show tells you all you need to know about how they feel as Gunther as their champion. But anyone that has common sense knows that Jey Uso is not going to beat Gunther for the belt. He should, just on the account of how over he fucking is. You know what I mean? He has a whole crowd yeeting up and down. Nah. But they're going to save that spot for guess who? Old Phil Brooks, because he will be the one, and that's a prediction. They're priming CM Punk to be the one that beats Gunther, become the next World Heavyweight Champion. Fuck Jey Uso, fuck Braun Breaker, fuck Drew McIntyre, fuck everybody else. That spot is reserved for CM Punk. That's just how it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. So I'm sorry, Jey Uso, as over as you are, it doesn't matter, right? Because the game was rigged from the start. So we move on, we see Bayley in the crowd. She's talking about, this is a monumental match between Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai, who I have history with, so I feel a little conflicted about who I want to see win. And then she calls Michael Cole a massive, humongous idiot, which he is. The whole crowd chanted, Michael Cole's an idiot, and Pat McAfee was like, hear that? Called you an idiot. Alright, we should listen to them, alright, because they're not wrong. That leads us to the next match, which is for the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Championship between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria. The woo, which, the crowd wasn't really wooing this time around because California does not care about Lyra Valkyria. But don't get it twisted, right? I already knew off rip that Lyra was going to win here tonight. And that's exactly what happened. But I will say that this match was the match of the night. It was a good match. I enjoyed it for what it was. You already knew I was going to win. And that's exactly what happens. We're going to fast forward to the finish. Lyra hits the Nightwing, which is basically Chris Sabin's Cradle Shock, for the 1, 2, 3. And oh no! Women's Intercontinental Champion, Miss Lyra Valkyria. Right? She get the whole fireworks celebration, and good for her. Right? Like, she busted her ass last year. Now, I was going to nominate her possibly for one of the workhorses of the year. So, am I a fan of hers? No, not really. But I'm not going to knock the fact that she did bust her ass, on the main roster. She was doing fucking work on both Raw and NXT, if I'm not mistaken. So, fuck it, why not? Big ups to Lyra Valkyria. But moving on, we see the New Day. Backstage, Xavier is pissed off over the treatment the New Day has been getting the past few weeks because of comments towards Big E, and they get kicked out the locker room because of the so-called locker room leader that is Rey Mysterio. And then Cold Feet, he's pissed off. His mama doesn't even want to talk to him, even though he's a fantastic dad to his kids. Xavier says, so all these people in California, you, Kathy Kelly, you people want to know when the New Day is going to wrestle. Well, how about next week? So next week, the New Day are going to wrestle. And so far, since the New Day turned heel, Triple H has done fuck all with these dudes, besides them going backstage and just being backstage. You know what I mean? They're not doing shit, man. So that leads us to the next match, which is Sami Zayn versus The Miz. Fast forward to the finish. Sami hits the Haluva kick into the Blue Thunder Bomb for the 1-2-3. Miz gets his ass whooped again. Gets completely washed by Sami Zayn. Poor Miz, but, what do you expect? They treat Miz like an absolute jobber on Raw or SmackDown, even NXT. It doesn't fucking matter. Poor Miz. That's all I can say at this point, man. But now we move on to a promo from the reigning, defending, undisputed Women's World Champion on Raw.
This is my brutality.
Miss Bloody Rhea Ripley. She says Mommy is back on top. Right? And then she gets interrupted by the Annihilator, Nia Jax, who for some reason is on Raw, even though I couldn't swore she was supposed to be on SmackDown. I guess Tiffany Stratton packed her ass up, I guess. These people don't even follow their own rules and regulations on their own shows. Right, but Nia says she ain't trying to hear that shit and that she wants to challenge Rhea Ripley. Then we see Big Bully Bailey. She intervenes. She says that, "Oh, you got something to say to me? Why don't you say it to my face, you big dumb idiot?" Right, and then they go at it. Rhea backs her up. Right, Nia leaves. And they're teasing Bailey going after Rhea Ripley. And that's all that happened here in this segment. So we move on. We see Jagged Redman talking with Rey Mysterio. Rey says that Penta proved why the WWE is now his new home. And as far as the New Day, they went out there and completely disrespected Big E, who was the heart and soul of the New Day. So as an OG back there in the locker room, it's up to me to teach the New Day some respect. If I'd put hands on them to do so, then so be it. You know how Steve Austin used to come out here and say, "Oh, hell yeah," and that's the bottom line. Well, us Mexicans, we have our own saying, "Ah, huevo." And that's pretty much it. So good promo from Rey Mysterio. And now that leads us to the main event. And it's a street fight between passive-aggressive Finn Balor versus the El Campeon, Damian Priest, right? Because it's predictable, man. I already seen these two go at it, right? And guess what happens, right? Damian Priest hits the Razor's Edge to Balor through a table. He then yells in his face like, "I'm not my brother's keeper." Hits the South of Heaven chokeslam to Finn Balor for the 1-2-3. Damian Priest goes over. Great shocker. That's it. That's it for Monday Night Raw. So I will say, thank God they're moving on from Rhea versus Liv, right? And thank God this needs to be it between Damian and Balor. That's it. Damian won again and again and again. That's it. Right? There is no more Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Move the fuck on already. And don't forget, the most important thing about this show is that the executive producers was Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, Elite Fitting. So yeah, this show fucking sucked. Garbage day overall. The only highlight was really Penta's debut. I guess I can add Lyra winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But yeah, 2 out of 10, I guess. Fucking, like I said last week, man, it's all downhill from here, right? And it shows in this week's episode. So let me know your guys' thoughts on Raw this week. What you like, what you hate, love it, hate it, comments, subscribe to the channel. That's all it's to me. And I see some hate. I got one hate last week. Got a couple haters. Well, of course, you're gonna get hate no matter what you do. And like what? You're gonna hate me for my comments on Hulk Hogan? And I've seen this whole debate like last week. All these videos talk about Hulk Hogan getting booed. It's real simple. I'll break it down one more time as to why he got booed. He got booed because he's a piece of shit. Because I've seen all these people trying to make excuses, and it's mostly Caucasians talking about like, oh, he got booed because he's in a liberal state that is California. He's MAGA. He's a real American brother. Now listen, don't get me wrong. Hulk Hogan is one of the greatest to ever do it. Right, when I eventually do my greatest of all time list, he's on that list, where he's in my top 3. But that doesn't absolve him from all the fucked up shit he's done both inside and outside the ring. And your actions have consequences. You have to deal with the ramifications of your actions. Right? Like him being a politician, for decades, holding down other wrestlers from taking his spot. Like, yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. Ultimate Warrior, Psycho Sid, Sting, Booker T. Everybody pretty much agreed to have Booker T become the next World Heavyweight Champion in WCW, except for one man. That doesn't work for me, brother. Hulk Hogan, right? For him and all of the numerous amount of lies that this man has told over the years, over the past decades, even. Great. This was that fucking Joe Rogan interview with Hulk Hogan. All the lies he told on that show. Him smashing his best friend Bubba the Love Sponge's wife behind his back. The racist tirade that was leaked about him ranting about his daughter Brooke, like fucking around with some hood niggas in the music industry where she was trying to pop off her career, like through hip hop and pop, whatever. It didn't work out because she sucked. Didn't have any actual talent. Right? And if you don't know about that, go do some research because I can't, say what he said on here on YouTube. His actions is the reason why he got booed last week on Raw. And the fact that people don't understand that is beyond me. Like, are you serious? like, what don't you understand? You know what I mean? He's a piece of shit, and he got exactly what he deserved. Where this is a 1985 brother. I'm a real American, fighting for the rights of every man. That shit ain't gonna fly, brother, in 2025, right? They should have went with the NWO, brother, because ain't no way they're gonna boo the NWO, because the NWO is just too sweet. Hulk Hogan doesn't give a shit about black people, so why should I give a fuck about Hulk Hogan, right? Reap what you sow, right? It's just that simple. As far as the next video, I might do one on Oxy Jones and his situation. Got to do predictions for Rumble this year. Got NXT tonight. Still got to do reviews for that Nova show. Just Battle in the Valley from New Japan. I might do a GCW review. I've been wanting to do a DPW review for like the longest time. But yeah, I wish enough for you guys' time. So that said, be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, protect you and yours, your loved ones, be safe, be warm, but most importantly, trust in God. I'm out of here. Until next time, adios.